Welcome to the Cryptonomatron. Thanks for joining me again today. In this video, we're doing a review on Entry ICO. But if this is your first time here and you want to know more about ICOs, cryptocurrency, blockchain, and other related stuff, then don't forget to click on that subscribe button, click on that bell notification icon, and you'll get notified as soon as I upload new content and whenever I go live. Okay guys, thanks for doing that. Let's get on with the Entry ICO review. So what is Entry exactly? Well, it is a banking platform for the blockchain world, essentially. They've got some ambitious goals, and we'll discuss those in a minute. But as far as banking services on the blockchain are concerned, there is already some competition, so let's take a look at them now. So there are some competitors listed in the white paper, and I've got the infographic up behind me. Tokia is one, Monetha is another. Monetha I actually went into the ICO long time ago, didn't really live up to expectations. Graft, I don't know anything about Graft to be honest. Centra coin was the Superman shield coin that got shut down by the SEC last year, and the three co-founders are all arrested and pending charges at the moment. 10x you might have heard of before they issued or were trying to issue a debit card for cryptocurrencies. Again, no end of problems for them. And Electronium had an ICO not so long ago, raising up to $40 million there. So Entry see themselves in competition with these different ICOs, these different cryptocurrencies. And what I would say straight away is this is a very risky business to enter into. As I've already mentioned, Centra coin got shut down, but Arise Bank was another one based in the US that also got shut down by the SEC as well. So this is a tricky market to operate in and stay on the right side of the law. As far as the different features the other ones have got, well, Tokia offer pretty much the same features as Entry, with the exclusion of a web app and a reward program, whereas Monetha are really a peer-to-peer payment service. They're not really a banking service at all. And Graft I don't know much about, as I said. 10x eventually going to try and offer banking services too, but we'll need to wait and see how that is established. Again, it's going to be very, very difficult to offer these services without getting on the wrong side of regulatory compliance. So not only are they taking on the blockchain banks, if you like, they're also having a wallet, so they're going to be in competition with Ethos with their universal wallet, Bread, and we mentioned 10x before. Now the Entry wallet, they hope to support fiat and crypto, so it's going to be like a fiat to cryptocurrency gateway, if you like, and they also hope to implement mobile and web support for it too. So here are another couple of competitors, and Entry have got quite an ambitious project with a wealth of services they want to provide, so of course they're going to be in competition with a lot of different companies, not least of all these two, Lala World and Kasha. Now they're offering traditional financial services but with cryptocurrency, and the traditional services, by that I mean debit cards, peer-to-peer lending, insurance, ATMs, that type of stuff. So the problems they want to solve, the first one is inefficiencies in the current banking systems, and I don't have to go into detail about those. I'm sure we're all aware of the benefits of using cryptocurrency over the old, outdated, antiquated model of banking, and basically they're going to be superseded by new digital money. It's only a matter of time, but at the moment there's a lack of viable cryptocurrency alternatives. You can't really do proper banking with cryptocurrency. You know, you are very, very limited in terms of what is available and what you can do. You know, usage of it itself, usage of your crypto is very, very limited at the moment. You may be able to spend it, you can transfer it, send it to people, you can buy and sell it on exchanges, but as far as a true digital currency is concerned, that's just not being realized at this current stage. And the biggest use for crypto at the moment is currently speculation, you know, basically trading it to make money or holding it, hoping it increases in value, and then you can make more fiat money out of it. So what we really need is we need some way of actually being able to use it properly in our day-to-day lives, instead of just a speculatory commodity, if you like. So the aims of Entry are to become the gateway between the traditional financial systems and the new cryptocurrency systems that we're starting to use now. In order to do so, they're going to offer 5 different types of services, and these are going to be, first of all, the Entry Money, which is the cryptocurrency and fiat payment gateway, then Entry Exchange, which is the centralized and peer-to-peer instant cryptocurrency exchange. They're going to offer Entry Cash, which is a cash machine and ATM system, Entry Bank, which will have your traditional high street banking services such as lending and investment, insurance, etc. Entry Network will be the custom blockchain with an open source code wallet, smart contracts, custom token creation platform, etc. So as you can imagine, the market for cryptocurrency banking services could be potentially massive. You know, the financial services market in the world is huge. We're talking about trillions of dollars worth of business there, and cryptocurrency really hasn't made an impact into that as yet. Yep, the cryptocurrency market's fairly large, currently sitting at about $470 billion. That's fairly significant. I can see it going over $1 trillion quite soon. But we're talking about financial services, what we consider banking services, financial services. That industry is worth about $4 trillion throughout the world, and just under $1 trillion in Europe. And as we saw, Binance Exchange has actually, in Q1 2018, exceeded the profits of Germany's biggest bank, Deutsche Bank. So the potential here is phenomenal, but it's a hard nut to crack. The market's there if you can get it, though. Okay, so the crowd sale itself is going to be on the Ethereum ERC20 token standard. There's no code available. Their GitHub is empty. And when I look at their webpage, it says they've had an audit for the smart contract, a security audit for the token sale smart contract, but it's not available. It just takes you through to a dead link. So that's a bit disappointing. So I managed to get my hands on the token sales smart contract audit report, and I'm happy to say the analysis results were all good. There was nothing, well, there's no security issues with the smart contract itself. As you can see here, it was conducted by Coin Mercenary, and there was no issues at all. In fact, they found that the hard cap was defined in the contract, the stage caps match the white paper, and there are quite a few of them, as we'll discuss in the ICO section. There's also the token time lock for the team tokens and the other tokens. There's also the contract pre-sale and ICO dates that are in the white paper, and allocations are predefined in the contract as well, so it's all in there. The vulnerability check results, as you can see here, it's not vulnerable to any of the common known vulnerabilities. I just want to read out something at the bottom here, the conclusion. It says the reviewed smart contracts are well crafted and follow common security practices. No critical problems have been found. The care and attention to detail by the Entry token team for their token generation event shows their commitment to security. We're proud to have the Entry group as a customer and look forward to seeing their upcoming success. So that's very good, and the reason I read all that out is because, again, the dead link is still on the website. They'll probably update it. I've made the team aware of it. So it looks as if they're going to be using the credits blockchain and smart contracts for their platform. That will be interesting to see how it pans out, because obviously credits is not without its detractors. A lot of people say the code isn't that professional on it, and they've got wild claims about being able to do 1 million transactions per second, which again a lot of coders say just simply isn't possible with the current technology that's available. They have demoed 450,000 transactions per second on YouTube, but again, skepticism is still there, and it'll be interesting to see how they're going to implement this Entry banking system on the credits blockchain. So we'll need to wait and see how it all pans out, and I'm sure there'll be some detractors out there as well. If you want to know about credits, I did a review on it, or a token to watch video on it. It's up there. Have a look at it. So as far as the tech is concerned, there's not much to say really. They have grandiose plans, ambitious plans, but as far as I can tell, nothing's been implemented yet. There's no MVP available. It does say on the website that they're going to release the MVP before the end of the token sale, but as yet there's nothing concrete. So the implementation of the tech as well is going to depend on how much money they raise. As the more money they're going to raise, the more they can implement. So the MVP, when it becomes available, will consist of two of the parts of the platform, the Entry Money and the Entry Exchange, and these will contain the Access web app, the multi-currency wallet. Deposits can be made in fiat and crypto, withdrawals can be made in fiat and crypto, payments can be made in euros, and it will also have a peer-to-peer instant transfer in the Entry system, and also currency conversions as well. So we need to wait and see. It's not available now. We'll need to wait and see what it's like when it eventually gets released. And as I said, they are intending to release it before the end of the crowd sale. But the crowd sale is quite long, so you might need to wait till August to see it. So token use now, and it's not exactly defined very well in the white paper what the tokens are going to be used for. They do say, however, you can store them in a sort of savings account, and you get an IBAN number or whatever, so you can actually earn interest off them. Also, you can use them to perform transactions on the platform, which transactions, again, not really specific, and they're going to be used to pay fees. Now, how much fees? Again, not outlined in the white paper, but there are a few use cases mentioned as well. The other interesting thing that they're going to be trying to develop is an Entry 2 token that will be pegged to fiat currencies, sort of like Tether, so you can use it as a sort of hedge against volatility. So as far as I know, there's no scam warnings about this project, there's no red flags really. There are a few little concerns that I have over the regulatory compliance, obviously, and I'm going to rattle on about that in every chapter in the review near enough, unfortunately, but that's just the nature of the game. And another couple of issues. One that I did notice is the guy who's the licensed broker on this team doesn't have a LinkedIn profile, so I can't check his credentials, which is a bit disappointing. He's only got a Facebook page. There were a couple of other minor things as well. Not enough really for me to red flag the project though. So token sale now, the token is an ERC20 Ethereum token, symbol is Entry, 25 million entries is soft cap, 325 million is the hard cap, works out about 80.5 million euros, I believe. That's a very, very high hard cap in my opinion. Total supply is 590 million. And the team tokens are locked for 2 years now. I did try to look at the audit report for the smart contract, but it's not available. It just takes you, it's a dead link, takes you to a blank page. And as we've seen, they do have a license granted to PayPay.lt Limited in Lithuania for money remittance. Now, the pre-ICO started a couple of days ago and will run till the 10th of May. The private pre-ICO stage was for 50 million tokens, and the price is not disclosed here. The public pre-ICO stage will be for 25 million entry tokens, and it's about 10 cents euros, about 12 cents US. And then the ICO will start on the 1st of June proper. Price then will be 15 cents euros all the way up, right to 44 cents. And as I said earlier, the more that they actually raise during the ICO, the more they can actually implement when the project gets going. ICO scheduled to finish on 31st of August. So it's a long ICO. I'm not sure I agree with that, but again, we'll need to see how it works out in the end. The distribution of the tokens will be as follows: 20% go to the team with that 2-year lockup. Bounty campaign will be 3%. Advisors get 5%. 17% will be put aside for a second coin offering as well. Again, I'm not sure I agree with that either. There's some confusing wording in the white paper, but they are looking to have a second coin offering maybe later on, and 55% of the tokens are available at crowd sale. As you can see in the other graph here, the distribution is going to go to legal, business development, research, marketing, operational costs, and also bug bounties as well when they need them. So there are restrictions on who can participate. US citizens and other prohibited countries cannot participate in this ICO. Sorry guys. And looking at the dashboard, because I signed up for the token sale, looking at the dashboard, it appears you cannot actually purchase an Ethereum, which to me is a bit ridiculous, because as we know, Ethereum is the most widely used crypto for purchasing into ICOs. So only at the moment anyway, Bitcoin, Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash are available, plus an option to pay with a debit card in euros as well. This ICO is having a bounty campaign. 3% of the total tokens are allocated to it. That means there are 7.65 million entry tokens available, and also they're going to airdrop 2.35 million entry tokens as well. So the total equating to 10 million. That's the equivalent of about 4.4 million euros, so quite a lot. There are several different campaigns going, as you can see. I'll leave a link below in the description. There's also an affiliate scheme as well going with this ICO, so you can get sign-ups and earn tokens that way. And as the token sale is quite long, this probably would be of interest to people doing the affiliates and also the bounty campaign, because you know you've got plenty of time to participate in it. Still a long time to go before this ICO ends, I feel. So the roadmap, well, you're going to be waiting on this one. The beta is not available and won't be until at least the end of this year, I think. Probably next year, 2019, to be honest with you. Anything tangible? Well, you know, we need to see a demo first. We need to see an MVP. We haven't seen that. So I reckon it's probably going to be 2019 before we do actually see anything of real significant interest. And at least mid-2019, end 2019, before we see the working platform itself. The roadmap is long, goes into 2020 and beyond. So on to the team now. While the team is vast, they've got over 100 people working for them. A lot of the developers are actually freelancers. They don't work specifically for this particular project. Also, this guy Tadas as well, he's the CFO. He doesn't have any verifiable history, he's only on Facebook. And a lot of the guys that are involved with this project don't have this project mentioned on their LinkedIn page, which again shows that their focus isn't on this project. So that's a little bit of an area of concern for me. And you know, the team is very, very big. It's very large. There are a lot of people on it. Yeah, question marks. Can they implement? Well, we'll need to wait and see, because it's not the size that matters, it's how you use it, isn't it? At least that's what my missus says. So while not advisors specifically, they are representatives. They've got these representatives around the globe, and there's hundreds of them. I mean, there's the guys in nearly every country you could name. You know, from Mexico to the Philippines to India to Canada, and there's somebody that's involved you know, at some level in financial investments, trading, cryptocurrencies, ICOs, you know, dotted around the world. So it's quite impressive. I've asked a couple of them whether they're actually involved with this project, just for you know, my own reassurance, and I don't think they've got back to me yet. So it'll be interesting to see you know, just what these guys, these reps, these business development guys can achieve. And there you can see they are based really around the world, loads of them around the world, in nearly every country you can mention. So the entry partners are Bancor Network, Credits, who will be obviously the blockchain that they build the smart contracts on, and also Welltrado. Welltrado I did a review on just the other day. You can check them out by clicking on the link above. Okay, community, and there's a lot of big numbers bandied about. They've got over 13,500 Telegram users. They've got over 10,000 subscribers to their email. They've got over 20,000 users registered for their whitelist, but when you go onto the social media, if you're on Telegram, it's very, very quiet, and it's very quiet on their Discord. You know, they aren't really that supported in the community, so I don't know whether people have signed up to get free tokens or whatever. It doesn't seem to be much hype, doesn't seem to be much people talking about it. You know, it's while the team is supporting and posting regularly and keeping us updated on Twitter, etc., there doesn't seem to be that many people on any of the channels. Now, the other thing about community here is the representatives or the business developers that are dotted all around the globe, and that's a little bit of a different approach. And in that case, yeah, there's over 100 of them. You know, they potentially could spread the word about this project, make it, you know, more hype. They've got a lot of influence. A lot of them are involved in ICOs and cryptocurrencies and other sort of ventures. So yeah, that could potentially build this project up and go a long way in getting people behind it. Okay, almost time for the final verdict, but let's start off by looking at the positives I saw in this ICO. Now, the first one has got to be the multi-billion-dollar potential market. We are talking about a market that's huge, global. It's in the trillions overall, but there are billions to be had by certain companies that can implement. I think blockchain banks are going to you know, be the future, and there's not been a project really that stamped its authority on the segment. There have been a few, there are a lot of competitors, but none have really taken up the mantle, and none have really made this segment their own. And again, that's massive opportunity for entry. Number two, I think this could be truly disruptive. In fact, I know it's truly disruptive to the financial sector. The traditional banking system is withering on the vine, and you know, projects like Entry, if they can implement, if they can provide services similar to traditional banks, then they're going to be the end of the banks. As simple as that. Number three, they're going to use credits. Now, I see this as a positive, and I'm not going to get into a discussion here about the coding and the quality of it, or the fact that the 1 million transactions per second might not be achievable with current technology. That's not what I'm meaning here. What I'm meaning is having credits as your blockchain platform to implement your smart contracts could be a masterstroke by Entry, because a lot of people will be watching credits, they'll be watching its performance, and thus they'll be watching the Entry project as well with close scrutiny. So if they can pull it off, if credits can't pull it off, that is, then yeah, it could be a masterstroke by Entry to partner up with them. Number four, much like the Ethos Universal Wallet and Bread, they intend to be a potential gateway to new crypto users. Again, if technology is easy to use, then it's more conducive to mass adoption, and that's what you want. Any business wants people to use it. The more people that use it, the more chance of making profits and the more chance of success. And number five, they're based in Lithuania. Now, the reason I say this is a positive is because Lithuania is generally very positive on cryptocurrencies in general, but they have been making positive noises about financial sector and banking with cryptocurrency. So again, yeah, I have to say that's a definite positive for the company to be based there. So number six, they have representatives around the globe. Now, this is a new take on a community for me, a new take on marketing or implementation for me. But having these guys in different countries around the world, especially having them already involved in ICOs, cryptocurrency and related industries, it makes it quite advantageous for you, because you can use those people to set up businesses, spread the word of your project, you know, and perform various functions as business developers for you. So yeah, I think it's quite clever actually having this approach. Number seven, they've got over 100 members on the team itself, and that's not counting the representatives. There are over 100 of those as well. So they've got loads of skills to draw from, and lots of people dotted about the world working in a freelance capacity as well. Number eight, they've already got the money remittance license in Lithuania for PayPay.lt. It's already obtained, so that goes some way for their MVP implementation, for the Entry money and the Entry exchange systems of the platform. Number 9, I like the fact they're conducting the ICO in England. I think that shows they're not shirking responsibility. They've not gone to the British Virgin Islands, the Cayman Islands, or somewhere else that might be a little bit more lax in regulatory compliance. They've actually gone and said, hey, we're going to do it legitimately. We're doing it in England. And yeah, I applaud them for that. I think that's a bold move. And number 10, very positive smart contract audit report. You know, very secure smart contract, well written, according to Coin Mercenary, who performed the audit. So negatives now, and there are a couple. The first one, and the biggest one for me, is regulations, regulations, regulations. Now, regulations are going to make or break this company, make or break this project, as simple as that. Regulatory compliance is the most important thing. And it's the thing that concerns me the most for any blockchain or cryptocurrency company involved in financial transactions, lending, you know, anything that the SEC, FINMA, or any of these other regulatory bodies, the Financial Services Authority in the UK, you know, any of these regulatory bodies that look at and scrutinise, you know, is going to potentially fall foul of regulations. Now, regulations are always changing. It's hard to stay astride of them. It's hard to keep in compliance. And again, that's the biggest negative I see with this project, the biggest risk. Number 2, this has got a long roadmap until implementation. We're looking towards 2019, 2020. And number 3, there's no MVP available yet. I have been assured that the MVP is pretty much the pay system. But again, I haven't seen it. I can't use it, so and it's not available to the public. So until that is released, it remains a negative for me. Number 4, there's no code available on GitHub. They say it's going to be open source. If they've got the MVP, we should really have a look at the code. They have a GitHub, but there's nothing in any of the repositories there, unfortunately. And number 5, this might cause a little issue with implementation. The dev team look to be freelance. Now, if you're using freelancers, they might not be fully committed to your project. They might be busy doing other things. And the other thing is that it takes the focus off the project as well. In addition, if they want to go elsewhere, it's very hard to retain them. Full-time staff, they're pretty easy to retain. And freelancers, much more difficult. Number 6, the material does look a bit hurried. The white paper isn't set out very well. The infographics look hurried. Yeah, it doesn't look like a polished product as far as the white paper is concerned. The website's nice. The one-pager's nice, but the white paper lets it down a little bit. A couple of spelling mistakes in there, grammatical errors. Again, you're trying to raise 80.5 million euros. You know, a spell checker should be required, really. Number 7, the hard cap in this project is just too high for me. I feel that 80.5 million euros is exceptionally high, given all the projects that I review. Normally around 20 million US dollars is about the highest. But yeah, this is just a too high a hard cap for me for this particular project. Number 8, it's a long ICO. It's going to last over 3 months from the first, well, the pre-ICO started at the moment and is running for 7 days, but the ICO proper starts on the 1st of June and then it runs all the way till the end of August. 3 months. Again, that's just too long. Spend that time on marketing, then launch, create the hype first, then launch and sell out. That's what you should be doing, not running it you know, for an excessive period of time. I think these long ICOs, they don't tend to work in my opinion. And number 9, this is a risk as well. It's an unproven blockchain solution. So basically, if they use credits and credits fail to deliver, then, you know, or there's issues with it, then there's a problem for entry as well, and that's a risk, definite risk. So let's look at the potential gains behind this project. Well, I'm quite positive on it in an ultra bearish and a bearish environment. I don't think it's going to lose very much. Now, these kind of projects, these bigger projects, the financial projects, they don't tend to suffer that much in a bearish environment. I think this one may just stay where it is, to be honest. Might lose a little bit, but nothing significant. In a bullish environment, however, I could see this easily doing a 4x. Say it comes on the exchanges with a market cap of around $100 million, give or take, then yeah, $400 million for this kind of project. It is ambitious, it's a big project, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Going forward, longer term, could we see $1 billion market cap for this particular one? Yeah, I think they can, but again, it's all gonna be down to implementation, what they can produce, what they can get done, and they've got to build a little bit of community support as well, I feel, behind this project, because it is a little bit deceiving. They've got a lot of people following them on Telegram and Twitter and everything, but not much engagement going on at the moment, so they need to up their game there, I feel. So flipping, well, I think it possibly could flip if you are in early enough, and the reason I say that is because the token price right now is 10 euro cents, and you know, at the end of the ICO it's going to be 44 euro cents, so that definitely provides some sort of opportunity for flipping, but only if you get in early enough. If you get in late on in the ICO, then that potential is gone. And for hodling, it's going to be entirely dependent, I feel, on whether this team can implement the project and what they implement to, and the quality of it all, because again, this is going to be judged, this is going to succeed or fail depending on what they actually produce. So final verdict time then. What do I think about the Entry ICO? Well, I think there's no risk, no reward, but this potentially could be massive. It's got some flaws at the moment, it's not got a demo that I can see, but on the other hand, you know, it could be, potentially could be very disruptive. It's got some good innovative ideas, a bit cloudy on how they're going to implement them and when, but yeah, it's a solid project, but it's not without risks. My biggest concern is obviously the regulatory compliance. As with any financial or lending, blockchain or cryptocurrency, that's going to be your biggest problem. So I'm going to give this 2.5 out of 5 stars. It would have scored higher had it already implemented some technology, and if it had a customer base using the technology already, but it doesn't have that, so it can only score 2.5 out of 5 on my metrics. However, it's definitely a project you want to keep an eye on. Whether you're going to invest right now at the cheapest price of 10 euro cents at pre-sale or during the ICO, I would advise you do keep one eye on this project, because again, the potential is there, the opportunity is there to be very disruptive, and this could be a massive, massive project. Could be bigger than even my potential gains indicate, so definitely keep an eye on it and see where it goes. And I may revisit it in the future, depending on the technology we see implemented and how they go. At the moment, you know, it's a bit early. I just wish they would have launched the MVP or had a demo or something, and I could have scored this a little bit higher. But anyway, there you go. That's my final verdict. So that about sums up my Entry ICO review video. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Thomas, the CEO, for helping me out on Telegram with a couple of things, including the smart contract audit report. This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, guys. This is for entertainment purposes only. If you're going to invest in ICOs or cryptocurrency, they do pose inherent risks, so never invest more than you can afford to lose. Always invest wisely, always invest cautiously, don't go rushing in, and always do your own due diligence and always do your own research, guys. That's key. Don't listen to YouTubers. Don't make your decisions based on what a YouTuber says to you, or another influencer or anybody else, all right? Do as much research from as many sources as you can possibly find. And again, if you've got any comments about this project, anything that I haven't brought up in the review, then please post in the comments below. Let the community know, let me know, and I'll try and engage with you as well. Also, if you like the video, give us a like, and if you've not already, subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Thank you from the Cryptonomatron. I'm out of here.